My parents don't know I got stabbed because I didn't tell them.
Teachers talk about respect but never listen.
It's not something I'm proud of, but it's
Yeah.
something I'll admit. I used to beat my mum, punch my mum, break my mum's bones and that.
I've been in many schools and none of the teachers have understood me.
Welcome to our next episode. This isn't a lecture, guys. This is truth, our truth. You might feel judged, boxed in, told to act grown, but still treated like a kid. Today we are going to flip that. You talk and we listen.
Hello, my name's Zak and I'm 15.
Hello, my name's Harley and I'm also 15.
Brilliant. Today we've got a guest with us, and this guest, his name is Gary. Can you tell us a bit about yourself, Gary?
Hello, my name's Gary. From Wolverhampton, and I have come from lived life experience. I've got myself caught up into all kinds of gang behaviour, caught up in knife crime, gun crime. Spent 13 and a half years in prison, have had a life sentence, but then I've come out and I've turned my life around. I'm now an anti-knife crime trainer for the last 6 years for the West Midlands Police Crime Commissioner. I work with young people around youth gang violence and around emotional intelligence, help young people process their trauma the way that I had to learn to process my own. So I'm on a give back mode right now. That's what I do.
Thank you so much, Gary. Okay, today's question. If you could speak without fear, what would you tell the adults in your life? Complete this sentence. If you could say one thing to your mum and dad or your mentor or your guardian without being shut down, what would it be?
It would be that, how to deal with my mental health to its, most. How to deal with it, alone. You're not needing help and being independent.
For me, it would be even when I speak up, I feel like they never understand where I'm coming from. And that I can be helped, but people don't know how to help me in certain situations.
Okay, interesting. So, what do you feel that the road that you've taken in your life right now, do you think it's contributed mainly to nobody really getting an understanding of you?
Well, the way I am now, nobody really cares. It feels like nobody really cares where I am at this point. Getting kicked out of schools, sent to three odd schools and getting permoed from 2 of them. It's just nobody shows that they care anymore.
I feel like the path that I've taken has mainly been because of stuff that I've been through, like my dad, having problems with my dad and being misunderstood by my family. Obviously, I used to dealing with gangs and taking the wrong path, dealing with knives and guns and taking the wrong path, robbing shops, doing stuff that I'm not supposed to do, stuff that people my age shouldn't really be doing and people my age aren't really doing. Mainly down to because of stuff that's happened with my dad and because my dad left or not, or I feel like I've been misunderstood by my family. I've never had a father figure.
Okay, so we're going to introduce our guest now. Imagine if you could flip the script and you were a young person again, and you've got an adult like you in front of you. What would you say that you needed from them?
I needed people to show me that they cared, because when I was young, I felt like nobody loved me. I felt like nobody cared and nobody understood why I was acting the way that I was acting. And because I felt isolated like that, it made things worse. What I would tell someone older to my younger self is to take the time to understand why I was acting the way that I was acting. Because as I've grown up, I've learned I've never seen anyone who acts crazy or does things that's dysfunctional without a reason. There's always a reason. I'm not justifying any bad behaviour, but I'm saying there is a reason. And I think older people should take the time out to recognise just because you didn't act like that, that other people are justifying their actions. No, everybody's built different, and what people need you to understand is why they're acting like that. Not justify it, but just understand where I was at. That is what I needed.
What it sounds like to me is that you're basically saying it's patience and not pressure. That we need to basically be showing patience with these young people and listening, truly listening, and not always applying the pressure of putting them in a room like a classroom, or putting them in settings that you know that they're not ready for, because it's not the Maslow hierarchy of needs,
Yeah.
where we have to look at whether they've been fed that day, whether they feel safe,
Yeah.
and all those kind of things. And sometimes we jump and miss the steps, and then that's what brings that kind of thing. Have you seen that before?
Yeah, I've seen that, but I also think that was done a long time ago. I think that wasn't really incorporating how trauma is now being viewed, the new lens of how people are looking through trauma. There's really a deeper understanding now that these childhood things, experiences that you go through when you're young, have adverse effects on people. No one's justifying them and saying it justifies people's behavior, but there is definitely a link between adverse childhood experiences and dysfunctional behavior. So because of that, yeah, we need to be more understanding about why that person is acting like that, because of what's being through them. And the only way you're going to understand that is by taking the time out to get to ask that person and listen without the judgment. Because ultimately, yeah, the judgment doesn't help, because the person knows he's done wrong, you know. He just doesn't know how to stop himself from doing it. Now imagine, right, you're a good person inside, yeah, but then you lose your emotions, yeah, and you act mad and you mash up stuff. Then everyone's just asking you why you've mashed up everything. You can't explain that, because I'm still hurting about what made me do it in the first place. But because I can't explain why I've done that, you're now looking at me like I'm a bad person. You're making me feel even worse. I can't regulate. I can't deal with the fact that you're now blaming me for what I've done, but something inside me made me do that without me knowing. So that's what the problem is. Because I was saying to these young guys earlier on, I'm saying, do you think that anybody wants to sit in there and think, you know what, I can't wait to mess up my life. I can't wait yet to leave school, right, and be a criminal and go to jail. Can't wait to be an alcoholic. I can't wait to be a crackhead. Can't wait to be a bad dad. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody does this. What happens is incidents happen in your life, and it's the way that people react to them. I would put it like this. Say if I brought out to you a box of eggs, right, this, yeah, and I opened the eggs and I said to you, what's in there? What you'd say to me? A box of eggs. I'd say, cool. But if I walked out the room, yeah, and I got the eggs and I dropped them on the floor like this, yeah, from this height, and I come back in here and I showed you the eggs, what would you think you'd see in there? Cracked eggs. Some eggs would be broken, some eggs wouldn't be in it. And if I said to you, do you want some egg sandwiches now? You're going to look at me like, what the heck? I don't really want that. But then if I went out the room again and I went and cracked all the other eggs, yeah, and I took out all the shell from the other broken eggs and I made up some nice scrambled egg, I put a little bit more ingredients in it, I come back and said, yo, would you like an egg sandwich? You probably say yeah. So what that is that we're not born the same. Some of us are built stronger than others, not because we're better than others, it's just the reality of it. So if I've got strength, yeah, and me and you fell from the same place, but I managed to not be as broken as you, then I will give you some of my strength. I will give you some of what it was that made me stronger. I will share this with you because that is my duty. My duty is to share my gifts. Do you know what I'm saying? Because gifts doesn't make you special. It just makes you individual from another person. So if you're able to do something, especially if it comes to you naturally, it's your duty to help somebody else learn from that. That's how we heal the world. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, but I feel like the way I started hanging around with the people I hung around with when I lived that lifestyle was because I was scared. Like when I met the guy, I was scared to say no. Like his beef ended up becoming my beef. Like he beefed this one kid, and then because I was friends with him, this one kid started beefing me, and I started beefing that kid. I was scared to like tell him. I was scared to tell him no. Like I don't want to be involved in your beef. I was scared to tell him no. I don't want to live this lifestyle. Like I just want to be a friend. I just want to have fun with my life. Like and say like I was kind of scared that something bad would happen to me if I turn around and said to him, no, I don't want to live this lifestyle. Like I don't like the lifestyle you live in. I don't appreciate it, and I don't think it's good for you. But because he's lived that lifestyle, I feel like he lived that lifestyle before me. I feel like if I say that to him, he's gonna take it the wrong way, and I'm gonna get hurt.
I would say a lot of young people feel like that. I'd say that fits with a lot of young people's mindset right now. But then you ask yourself a question, yeah. If you feel frightened about the response of a person, if you used to tell them not to do something bad, which means you're coming from a good place, and you're frightened of the response, you have to ask yourself, is that person really my friend? Do you know what I'm saying? This is, again, our choices, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you're going to hang around with someone who you know does reckless things, let's just say, they're reckless, they've robbed someone, they've stabbed someone, they've done this, they're reckless, you know this already. You have a choice to when you hang around with them or not. It's just like when I said to you earlier on about if you don't tell your friend when they start doing bad things, because when we was young, we didn't do them, did we? We was all friends doing like playing games and whatever, but then they start doing these knife things, start taking it. But if you don't tell them they're doing wrong, they actually don't understand. They think they're doing right because they're getting popularity, they're getting a little gas, getting more friends. So they don't know that they're wrecking their life. because you're frightened to confront them and say, look, this is not good for you. You think it's going to be a me problem. Now imagine this person doesn't know that you're thinking that. He's thinking you're gas. You're impressed by what you're saying by not saying nothing. So you see how it doesn't help each other because we don't talk enough. Young people, like I spoke to you earlier on, you said kids 15, 16, they're brain dead. You said this to me, that's what I'm saying. And that is what we have to acknowledge, that that's what's being perceived. But if you ask questions to a person, no matter how brain dead you think they are, ask them the right questions, they are able to answer. Because you lot answered everything that we talked about in there, right or wrong? You lot had answers like this, mate.
Yeah, I feel like for me, I kind of regret not telling the guy he did wrong because I'm out of that lifestyle now. I moved away. I avoided it. I lived that lifestyle for 2 years from when I was for like 3 years from when I was 11 to when I was 14, and then I got out of it. And then that guy, that kid now, like, he hates me now. Like, me and him aren't friends anymore. We beef. Like, it's calm now, but we don't really speak to each other. We don't see each other. But me and him used to beef, and I feel like I could have, if I said to him, like, what you did, like the way you're living is very, very wrong. The people you're hanging around with is wrong. He wouldn't be in the situation. He wouldn't be in that situation because he's still in that situation now.
He might have still been in that situation, so don't take that kind of blame on yourself. But what you can do is just look at it like, we should just do better. Just be more compassionate to our friends.
I feel like if I told that guy, me and him could still be talking to this day. Me and him had a very good relationship until like he let this life get the better of him. Like, he ended up becoming lost in his head.
So if you meet somebody new and you see the same kind of things happening, what would you do?
I'll turn around to them, like, because back then I was scared because of the outcome. But now that I've lived that life, I'm not really scared to tell someone that's wrong because I've lived that life. I know that it's wrong. I know what happens in that life. Like, I've been stabbed in my leg.
So that's
like,
good.
I know that the way that lifestyle is not the right way to live. It can cause so much trauma. Like, it can ruin lives. It can if people like my parents don't know I got stabbed because I didn't tell them. But if I was to tell my parents, I feel like they would be kind of like, I feel like it would hurt my parents. And then I feel like if I met someone that lives that lifestyle now, I could say it's wrong. It's wrong without feeling intimidated that they're gonna hurt me, because I've lived that life. So he would understand where I'm coming from. He knows that I know what happens.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, guys. So, Zak, I want to ask you something. Take 30 seconds, and I want to hear what's been living in your chest. No filter, no explanation. This is going to be basically coming under what I wish they knew.
Basically, year ago, compared to 8 years ago when my mum left, like, that put a lot of pressure on me with girls. Like, I couldn't treat a girl right, and ever since my mum left, she traumatised me with threats, like trying to abuse me basically. And I have trauma from that, like water trauma. Like, my older brother has trauma from stuff like my mum not looking after him. So when my stepmom came into my life, kind of made me think like how to treat a girl properly and open up to people. And yet still, my parents are begging me to open up, but I just don't find the right place to.
What would you say to that? Why do you think that?
I'd say maybe, because he was getting into trouble a lot first here, so it's been a lot of focus on his misbehaviour rather than focusing on why he's misbehaving. Like, he's just said some key things. He said, he's traumatised because his mum left him. He said his mum was then abusing him, so that made him unable to treat women correctly. But that's a lot of responsibility he's just took on to acknowledge that, which is, you should applaud yourself for that, because how do you learn how to do things correctly if nobody showed you? Then what's happened is you've then been vilified for the behaviour that you've carried out with these girls, and rightly so, I'm saying, but no one's understood why. And then now you're saying I don't have the opportunity to explain to them because I feel like they're not going to understand or not listening. So it feels like you're stuck between a place where you want help, you want to overcome this, you've acknowledged what it's done and what the negative was, but you don't feel there's nowhere to go for the support. That's what it seems like to me. That's how I can observe what you're saying. But I think you've done a lot of the work already. One, you've acknowledged that you was wrong and that was going the wrong way. So that's powerful. That means you ain't going to continue to do that.
Yeah.
Because you already want to break that. You know what I'm saying? That's really powerful. It's also powerful that you acknowledged and learned from a new woman that came into your life and treated you, it seems like to me, like rightly and correctly, because that is what made a turning point. So you see, so that means they are prepared to listen to you.
It's like 2 exes I've had. They both treat me well, but my family and people like Harley, he didn't like it. And at the time it was because he liked her, but she liked me, and I didn't want it to like fold into an argument or something like that. Because I've known him for years now. I don't wanna be the person to ruin like family.
I understand.
So ever since then, like beef with that girl's been going on now for 9 months after the breakup. And we've only just stopped like last week or something.
Okay.
And that was because everyone was stirring stuff around about us in school. Which caused my lifestyle in school. And I'm getting kicked. I've been kicked out twice, suspended twice, managed moved twice, and one of the managed moves I got permoed or permanently excluded from. Then I'm getting told that next year when I go back into, I'm still going to be in a pro, but I'm going to be in a pro in another school for 3 weeks because there's a new building coming in. But we can't sit there because it's not going to be fully done. And like, I don't know how I'm going to last within the 3 weeks because they're my support. Like,
I understand.
The support, I opened up to one of the teachers. And they reported it, like, they put it as a CPOM, which is something called, like, reporting it to safeguarding. So they reported it to safeguarding, and they called my parents. But my parents, like, it's like my parents didn't know a lot of stuff. Like, my best mate, he got stabbed in the lower abdomen. And ever since then, he's not really been traumatised because he lives that lifestyle. And
he would have definitely been traumatised, let me tell you.
Well, he was traumatised, but he doesn't want to live that type of lifestyle anymore. Ever since then, it's just like, why don't people fight with fists? Why do people have to carry around knives to protect themselves? And I don't see the point in it. It's like, fight your own battles with fists, not knives.
But for me, I grew up like when I was younger, it was like from the age of like 1 to the age of like 4, like the age of 4 when my dad left. At the age of 4, I watched my dad constantly hurt my mum. So I grew up thinking violence was the answer. And it's not something it's not something I'm proud of, but it's something I'll admit. From the age of like 6 to the age of like 12, I hit my mum bad. Like, I used to beat my mum, punch my mum, like I used to break my mum's bones and that. And it's not something I proudly say, something I regret. But obviously, like, watching my dad do that, who was my influence, my role model, the person that I grew up around, the person that I looked up on to tell me how to live life and how to what to do when I grow up and how to treat a woman. Like, obviously, my dad beating my mum and that caused me to, when my first serious relationship was with a girl that I saw it every day. Like, I chose my own family. Like, I would be with her from 10 o'clock in the morning to 10 o'clock in the night, basically my own family. But like, I treated her well, like, but I wouldn't say I treated her the best. Like, she would hit me, I would retaliate back, I would hit back. It's not something I proudly say again, but it's something I've got to admit, because I didn't have that father figure in my life to tell me how to treat a woman. It's like Zak, me and Zak let a woman get the best, let a girl get the best of us. Like,
it's not just like saying like let them get the best of you. What it is it's about you taking responsibility for your own actions, which you're identifying things that could have led to your behaviours. But you see, and identifying and admitting it is one thing, but what do you do to change it? What do you do to be better? You know what I'm saying? These is your choices, you know what I'm saying? Because they can't become excuses. They're the reasons, you know what I'm saying, yeah? But then once you've identified that, especially out loud like that, that means now, if you do it again, that means you're using it as an excuse. Do you understand the difference? Once you acknowledge something, that's the time where you have to take responsibility for it. So what I would like to know is that moving forward, that you would like to start taking responsibility. And I feel like for you, I think you need support right now. I don't know where it's going to come from. I feel like you need some kind of support to help you get over this part what you're at now, because you're ready to express, you're ready
Yeah.
to talk about it is, but you need to be able to speak with someone who can receive what you were saying without you making you feel guilty for saying it. Do you know what I'm trying to
that's what I'm
say?
worried
The main
about.
the main person that, I mean, it was my uncle for me, but obviously I was getting kicked out of schools. Like I've got 26 suspensions on my record, 4 permanent exclusions, like 5 managed moves. But I went to a pupil referral unit school that helped me a lot, and that school, my behavior was okay, but obviously because I was around people that have the same experiences. But the main person that actually taught me like how to act and taught me how to control my anger was John Paul. And
He did. He said that as soon as we came in here today, and he said it as well. So it's really
like,
good.
It's like John Paul for me he's like, I don't have many males in my life. Like I speak to my dad now. My relationship with my dad's I mean, it's alright, but it's not the best because my dad knows he's done wrong. My dad knows that he could have done a lot better for me. My dad kicks himself about it, and I tell him not to. But I'll forever appreciate JP because when Pizza Bar kind of saved my life. If it weren't for Pizza Bar, I would have probably ended my own life. But from the age of 12, I wanted to end my own life. It was in my head. Like every night, I was constantly thinking, when my family were asleep, I'm going in the kitchen, I'm getting a knife, and I'm ending it all. Like I don't care about what my family thinks.
I'm really happy that you found someone that's supporting you, helping you. But remember, also, as much as JP and people help you, you also got to give yourself credit because you are taking the help, you are making the decisions. So build strength within yourself as well as get strength from people. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you're making decisions, you're making choices.
I will come in now because it's like, Harley, thank you for that. Beats the Bar's done a lot, but you've also have changed a lot. We've had you for about, I'd say, 3 years coming to our holiday clubs. We started when it was coming from the Pru, then you'd send him to us, and that's when he first started finding out about what he could do with music, telling his story, rapping, expressing himself, and then he built more confidence, and then he got to meet the mayor and had different accolades. He got to perform at certain shows. So again, he started showing his family what he can do. But even while he's been here, he's still had his normal behavior, which he's probably learned from other things, attitude, aggression, whatever. But he has come on a lot.
Yeah,
so
it's like
it is.
It's like I remember once I was on the bus I was coming from Stafford to down to Pizza Bar, and I was going I was thinking in my mind, I was just taking time to myself, and I was thinking, I've got to thank JP for what he's done. Like I said in my message, saying like when we met at the people referral unit, I was a 12-year-old kid. I was constantly walking around wearing like a COVID mask because I had no confidence at all. I wasn't confident about the way I looked. I wasn't confident about I wasn't confident about anything. I was so like insecure. But then kind of like when I went to that school, there was so many people around me that made me feel comfortable, made me feel like I actually was wanted, and that I'm not all alone in my head, and it's not just me thinking that something's wrong, and that there's actually people to help me. So one day I went in the school. JP was there. JP said, "Come on, take off the mask." I took off the mask, and then to this day, I'm confident. Like I don't really obviously sometimes I care what people say, but I don't really care what people say because I've got confidence, and people shouldn't have a say in how I feel. I shouldn't let people like make me feel that way. If I'm confident, I'm confident.
Right, we're going to have to close it there. Thank you guys so much. We're now going to ask our guests to tell us a quick story about a time when they felt misunderstood and a bit of challenges, and then how you overcame it.
So what I can say is, like, when I was young, my life was traumatic. Like, I was born into drugs, prostitution, alcohol, violence, all of it. My mom used to run away from a lot of her problems because she was involved in a lot of different stuff. So when I was 7 or so, my mom moved me to London. So at 7 or 8, she moved me to London. And that's when my life really got even worse. I'm exposed to even more stuff. I don't have no family there, no friends. So I actually used to run away. I used to plan it. I used to wake up 6 o'clock in the morning, sneak into my mum's room, and I used to steal money, because obviously they had money because they was dealing in prostitution and drugs and whatever. Steal about £500, and I'm 8 years old. I would get my back clothes and I'd go and put it into a black bag, and I'd catch the go straight, because Boston Place was a taxi company. So I used to go to the taxi company and say, can I have a taxi? They take me straight to Euston train station. When I got to the train station, I used to put my bags by people who was to see sitting on a bench. Put my bags by them. I used to sit by them for a while like this, yeah. Then I go up to the ticket office, yeah, and I go ask them for a ticket to Wolverhampton. And they say, oh, you with your parents? I say, yeah, they're over there. Look where my bags is, yeah. They'd give me the ticket. I'd run away to Wolverhampton, you know. So I've made it all the way from London to Wolverhampton. I turned up the first time I did it. I ran to my nan's, I think, yeah. Obviously, I've got £500 or however much amount at the time, so they got the money, you know what I'm saying, yeah. But I'd be there for about a week, then they'd send me back to my mum. Now I'd feel like, raw, I ran away from my mum because I was traumatized. Now I've come to my nan, and my nan's run me out, and my nan at the time had my cousin living there, but he was my black cousin, I'm mixed race, you get me? So again, it was because of that. I'm saying my nan didn't really like my dad's kids because they were mixed race, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't know my white side of my family, only my mum. So then I've gone back to my mum. Then I ran away again, and this time I ran to my aunties. Same thing again. They've got the money, they spent the money, and it is my mum comes down, because my mum used to buy me loads of stuff. You know what I mean? They're just looking at the things that I have, but I'm traumatized. Then I ran away again. This time I ran away to my dad, and my dad kept me, but my dad kept me and made me go to my sister's mum. But then I got this thing in my neck. It was like tonsillitis, but they thought it was Quins, this mad thing. Like my neck all swelled up, so they took me to the children's. I had to go to children's hospital. Then my mum come again. They sent me back to my mum again. At that point in my life, I felt like I was abandoned by everyone. I felt like nobody loved me, nobody cared about me, and that was the most isolating time that I can ever feel that happened in my life. And I would just like to say to anyone that if a child runs away from somewhere and runs to you, there's definitely something wrong. I would implore anyone who has a person, or everyone, you ever see a kid knocking your door that's 8 years old, running away from something, there's something seriously wrong. It took me a long time to get over the fact that I thought that nobody loved me and cared about me. That traumatized me for a long time.
You know, when you think something's wrong with the people, like, do you not think sometimes that it could be down to their actions that they feel that way?
Explain again, say that again, sorry.
Like, you know, when you see someone that's upset,
yeah,
and you're thinking, something's wrong with them,
yeah.
Do you take the time to think, is it like it could be down to their actions, or it could be down to something they've been through?
What I do is this, yeah. So when I was in prison, right, I was on a life sentence, innit? So that meant, yeah, I can't get out of prison, yeah, if things go wrong for me, innit? So then you get certain people, yeah, would act a mad way, and it would make me triggered. I think, who are you talking to like that? Or they bounce in front of me, or done something, yeah. But then my brain would start to say, you know what? My man's probably had a bad day. Someone on the phone probably said something to him and he can't manage his emotions. Once I say that to myself, I'm no longer angry or even triggered by what they're doing, because it's irrelevant what's going on in their head. To me, it's how I'm feeling right now. So if I feel somebody triggers me in one way or another, unless you physically touched me, instead I'd rather go down the route and tell myself, yeah, that something must be wrong with them. Not that there's something wrong with them, meaning something's happened as to why they're being like that to me. That makes it easier for me to just carry on going where I'm going. Do you understand?
Just to touch on another topic as well, when I'm older, obviously, because I've been through that life as well, and I've been through a lot in my life, I want to help people that having like similar struggles to me. I want to help them get out of it. I want to help them figure out how to get out of it and how to kind of control it without going down the wrong path, or without taking the wrong path, or ending their own life, or wanting to end their own life.
Do you know how you would do that though?
Like, can you help me? Like, have you got any tips on how I can do that without making them feel worse?
I'll tell you what you do, yeah, is you overcome and master your own trauma. So you see what's affected you, learn about it, figure out how you address it, think about what's worked for you, and then you explain that to people in a way that they can understand. The best way to be able to be the best mentor for someone is for you yourself to have been through it and got through it.
It's kind of because, like, my whole life I've never really spoke out, like.
Yeah. I'm really glad that you spoke so much today. Be proud of yourself.
I was like I was sleeping with gangs, and my whole life was in doubt.
Like,
I've always wondered. Like, it's been in my mind for quite a long time, you know. Like, ever since I spoke, I've got a CAMS worker now.
Yeah.
That kind of helps me. Like, I go to a kind of group thing that works on mental health and like how to work with your struggles. But like, ever since that, I've been asking myself, how can I help people? And I've been thinking to myself, that's what I want to do. I want to help people. I want to work with people that have been through the similar struggles, and I want to help them overcome what they've been going through.
You will definitely be able to do that as soon as you get over what you're going through. So to do that, yeah, is overcome your own story, so your own journey. Yeah, once you've done that, you'll be a professional.
Have you got any
Giving
tips on
other
how I
people,
can overcome my own struggles without
bit by bit,
getting into my emotions more?
but your emotions are always going to be there. So you have to learn how to deal with your emotions, and what you do is step by step. So what you do first, yeah, is like what you're doing today. You're talking very freely, very openly, yeah. So that means you're managing your emotions right now in order to do that. You know what I'm saying? Because it could make you want to cry, it could make you want to feel anything, you could feel any kind of way. But what you're doing, you're managing your emotions through this. You know why? Because you want to.
I feel like right now I'm not in the state of mind to cry or anything. I feel I'm kind of happy that I've like let out my emotions and let how I feel, because now I can help like kind of get over it more.
That is good.
What is it that you wish your dad knew? Because he
That-
doesn't want to talk about it.
that-
What do you
yeah,
want to talk to him about?
I wish my dad knew that it's not girls that is causing this. It's school. It's the fact that every night I'm sat alone, draining in thoughts, and I try to tell people, but I don't really say it through voice. I just put stuff up on stories to show that I'm not in the right headspace. And Harley replies, and a couple of others reply saying that it's not your time to go, because not long ago one of my exes, and yeah, talking about exes a lot, but they started doing self-harm, and they said to me that night they was going to end it because they overdosed, and they threw it all up basically. And when they told me that, because it wasn't really an ex then, it was a break, so when she told me that, I kind of realised to myself that I saved somebody, but why can no one save me? It's like I'm stuck alone.
Just ask Gary another question. Do you know when you first went to jail?
Mhm.
Like, because when I first got suspended, I was thinking to myself, "Yo, I'm cool for this. I'm so sick. Like, I'm so proud of myself for getting suspended. I'm sick. I'm an amazing person for getting suspended. You know, like I'm hard. Like, and it was like that for the first couple times I got suspended. Like the first time you went to jail, is that when it clicked in your mind that you don't want to live the way you're living anymore?
No, it took me quite a long time, to be fair. I went to prison 8 times before I learned. But the thing is, yeah, we all learn at different stages. What you're talking about, reflection, what you're having now at 15, I didn't have that. So there's a big difference, you know what I'm saying? I didn't start even reflecting like what you're saying until I was 28, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I was very clever. I was always very clever from a young age. But I didn't have reflection. I didn't have to be able to look at myself and my own behaviour. I felt like everything was because of somebody else. And I blamed everybody else for my behaviour. Like, I justified it like that.
And for me, it's like I want to help people, but what I ask myself is, how can I help people if I've never been helped? So like doing this podcast kind of helped me like understand how I can help people more, because I've actually been helped by this podcast, because I've been able to open up without feeling any way. But to ask Zak a question as well, how do you feel when we used to argue over girls? How did it make you feel knowing that you're arguing with family over a female that's not going to be there forever?
No, taking arguments with family, it's like I always choose family over a girl. And at the point, I did tell you I would never leave you. No matter what girl came into my life, I'd never leave.
We're gonna have to wrap it up, guys, because I'm getting hurried up. I basically want to thank Gary for coming down. We really appreciate it. You gave some really good advice to some boys who I think have been very open with their feelings, with what's going on. And we really do hope that we can support you, me and Gary, afterwards as well, with anything that you need to happen. But if you're watching and you feel unseen, this is the space for you. If you're an adult listening, listen to what the kids have said today. Listen with your heart and not your ego. We are just youth with problems, and youth have the power because they're the future. So we need to start listening. This has been Rap2Reality, where you've had real talk, real rhymes, and real life. You can listen again on Spotify or on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and any of our social medias. We are going to have a freestyle from one of the young men in a minute. But other than that, you guys take care. Thank you. Bye.
Funds, Rap2Reality.
My own trends.
My whole life I ain't ever spoke out. I was stepping with gangs so my life was in doubt. Beats of bars what I can't live without. I was not a good kid so I got locked in a cell. Age 13 I got stabbed in my back. That was both by a knife and the friends that I had. I was chasing blood and chasing a bag. This was all cause I lost my own dad. I was going round just robbing bare shops. When I lost my nan, my heart had just dropped. I was just 12 and I felt so lost. Dad just talk to me please, I don't wanna be blocked. I pushed through and now I rap to reality. Chose a gang over my own family. Bad at school so my teacher was mad at me. I just cared about myself, man, I was in my own fantasy. I lost my cousin, I put a knife to my neck. And I ain't felt home in a set. To the point, man, I wished I was dead. But I realised now that I was lost in my head. I miss you, Nan, I hope you're watching with God. I'm pushing through, it's just me and my squad. He had machete in hand, chasing me on the quad. I was just 13, already wished I was gone. I can't lie, man, I think I was brainwashed. In my head, it was nothing but brain fog. I feel drained, thinking where's all my game gone? I was lost, man, I think I got rained on. Gary told me not to lose my emotions, cause as a kid I never knew how I felt. I was smoking weed and Cali getting dealt. I had no real friends, I was in my own shell. Last week I got lined by a girl. That's why I say that love would get you killed. I'm just 15 trying to make me a meal. I bottle it up, I never say how I feel. I lost my nan, that's why I started writing. In the streets causing havoc and fighting. When I made my first song, man, my life was exciting. On the pitch, 5-star, Harry Kane when I'm striking. I miss my nan and it makes me lose sleep. She died when I was 2 and it hit me so deep. Used to follow the crowd and I would lead all the sheep. Thank God I got out of the streets. I had no friends, cause the way that I'd act. Family over girls, I know that for a fact. I learned that and for that I thank Zak. Always remember your worth and love yourself and that's that.